Martinsville Speedway in Martinsville, Virginia, the shortest and the slowest of the short tracks. That's the location for start number 9 of the Castrol GTX Cup Series for season number 29, as we're set for 75 laps of racing here today for the running of the STP 500. As we're set to go racing here today on the pole at a speed of only 94 miles an hour, the slowest of the 3 short tracks again that we've been on. It is Cole Deaver, the GM Goodrich Chevrolet, nearly had himself a win at North Wilkesboro in the last round of the race on the tour. He hopes to pull one off here today at Martinsville, get a little redemption from that lost opportunity at Wilkesboro. Beside him, though, is a surprise, though. The number 94 Ex-Iberis Chevrolet, it's Nathan Ormond. He starts outside of the front row in this race here today. Second row has a pair of Buckeyes, Levi McIntyre, 99, who won a season at Darlington, and Kyle Matthews yet to get a win this season. He's never won at Martinsville, so he hopes to here today. Actually, I think he may have won in Martinsville. I'm actually not sure on that. I may have to check on that. Third row sees car number 9, the Canachan TV Ford of Jessica Shelton, the number 9 machine. She's alongside Kev Shearer in car 69. Shearer won that race at North Wilkesboro, believe it or not. In contrast to that, Shelton was the pole sitter of that race at Wilkesboro, too. Fourth row has car number 42. It is Angel Navarro, and alongside Charles Sanford in 03. Next row has car 14, Matt McIntyre, and number 89, it's Quentin Moore. Next row, car 39, Keith Batson, the Nathan's Hot Dogs Ford. Keith has one of our 3 in-car cameras in today's race. Beside him, Mike Becker, who won the season at Richmond in car 43, the STP Cheerios Dodge. Next row has another Dodge, car number 60, the Dodge SRT Pennzoil Dodge of Joshua Osborne. He's alongside the winner of the season at Rockingham, Zach Rogers, in the number 97 Bang Energy Dodge. Next row down has another 2-time winner this season so far, Dylan Young. He won the Daytona 500, and he also won at Bristol. Excuse me. He won also at Texas, actually. Zach Rogers is the one who won at Bristol, believe it or not. And alongside Dylan Young is car 93, Zach Winkle, in the Amoco Ultimate Dodge. Next row is car 17, Jesse Turner, and number 1, Trent Dunham. Trent has our second in-car camera. Our next row down has the man who won in Atlanta this season, Rafael LeDuc, in the Montreal Canadiens Buick, car 16. And beside him, car number 5, the Raging Cajun, Bill Parker, in the Exalta Tide Chevy. Next row, Johnny Gardner in 81, and number 7, Logan Williams. Next row down has car 25, Seth Cole. He has our third in-car camera, the Flat Racing Network Liberty University Chevrolet. He's alongside car number 52, another Chevrolet, that's Mason Wood. Next row down has Kat Batson in car number 70, the Aussie Hair Care Products Ford. She's alongside the Taco Bell Dodge car number 95 of Alex Miller. Next row, Mike Wayne Robinson in the Matco Tools Ford car 28, and number 51, Colton Schwartz in the Branch Chevrolet. Next row down has Dylan Poteet, another Chevrolet in the Great Clips machine. Beside him, Nathan Hudson in the Valvoline Ford car number 6. Next row down has car 11, Cole Baker, and number 4, William Brock. Then it's number 24, the Rudy's Barbecue Muscle Milk Toyota of Nikki Martinez. She's alongside car number 8, Rob Evans. Next row down has 66, Jordan Anderson, and number 36, Natan Amadeo. Next row down has Daniel Bouchard, car number 86, in the Shell Pennzoil Pontiac. And James Sykes in 55, the Texas Pete Sauces Racing with Jesus Ford. And starting shotgun field will be car 59, Zachary Fitzwater, and number 01, Jack Mitchell. Those two, I'm sure, are going to want to work on their qualifying setups, too, because this is about the last few races in a row. They have qualified on the very last row, and I'm sure Jack and Fitzwater are both getting sick and fed up with it. So I'm sure they're going to want to work on their setup when we get to Talladega for the Winston 500, which is next on the schedule. So again, our in-car cameras will belong inside Trent Dunham, Seth Cole, and the car of Keith Batson. Those will be our 3 in-car cameras for today's race here, as the field of 40 cars line up for some rock'em sock'em short track action at Martinsville Speedway, the .526 mile paperclip racetrack. 2 long straightaways and 2 hairpin turns. That's pretty much the story of this racetrack here. And here comes the command to fire them up here at Martinsville.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Commands him to get in the Vardy engines as Cole Deaver and Nathan Orman will lead him down to the green flag here. A pair of Chevrolets here as the field rolls off to begin the pace lap. We'll be back for the start right after this. Field heads into turn number 3 now as we're going to get the green flag here to start this race at Martinsville Speedway. Cole Deaver, his first pole of the season as the green flies. We are underway in the STP 500, and what a start Cole Deaver got. He took off like John Force on that start as somehow Nathan Orman, I think, was unprepared or whatever, but in any case, so Deaver jumps out in front. Levi McIntyre to second position. Jessica Shelton trying for third spot now as Deaver leads the first lap of this race here in that familiar black number 3 GM Goodwrench Chevy. McIntyre settles into the second position. Jessica Shelton is in third as 2 Fords chase a Chevrolet. Chevy has not yet won the season, believe it or not. The race has been won by a Ford in the first race. Second race was a Dodge. Third race was a Dodge. Fourth race was a Buick. The fifth race was a Ford. The sixth race was a Ford. And the seventh race was a Dodge. And the eighth race was a Dodge. So Chevy has not yet won a season. And neither is Pontiac for that fact, too. Nor Toyota. So Chevrolet, I should say, looking to break their losing streak here today. As they go through turns 1 and 2, Cole Deaver leads them down. And somebody's got, and the 7 car of Logan Williams already with problems there. You see him ahead in a Subway Buick. And Logan comes in the pit road here, unscheduled stop here. Only 35 miles an hour on pit road, and he comes in for a stop. Must be a stop and go penalty, I think, too, that he got. He must have jumped to start for some reason. And Logan is already 1 lap down. He'll be driving the same number when we start the Wix Filters Truck Series, which will be on my Rivers for 1985 channel, by the way. The series is also sanctioned by the NNSCRA. And Logan, well, he'll once again come down pit road. So, yep, and he's already out of the race. So Logan Williams already out of the running of the STP 500. Logan got DQ'd. That's what happened too. So he must have jumped a start for some reason, and apparently he took longer than 3 laps to answer the black flag. And when that happens, so you got 3 laps to answer the black flag. Then if you don't do so, they'll pull out the scorecard and eliminate you from the race. So. Too much, so yeah, that's kind of hard to stomach. That kind of disqualification is kind of hard to stomach, though, when it comes to a race like this. So, but as of right now, it's Cole Deaver who still leads this race here. Levi McIntyre second, third is Shelton, fourth is Kev Shearer. Nathan Orman is settled in the 5th position right now. So Orman is one of his best friends of the season. 6th is Angel Navarro, 7th is Kyle Matthews, 8th is Matt McIntyre, 9th is Charles Sanford, 10th is Mike Becker with Keith Batson running 11th. 12th is Quentin Moore. Dylan Young has moved into 13th. Joshua Osborne 14th. 15th is Zach Rogers. 16th is Rafael LaDuke matching his car number. 17th is Johnny Gardner. 18th is Seth Cole. As he moves to the high side, Phil Parker goes to the low side now. That's for 18th spot they're battling for. Seth throws the block here, and so the 25 and the 5 are in together, and throw the 17 in there of Jesse Turner. He runs in 20th right now. Cat Batson's 21st, 22nd is Zach Winkle, 23rd, Trent Dunham, 24th is Mike Wayne Robinson, 25th is Mason Wood. Dylan Poteet's 26th, 27th right now is Nikki Martinez as she tries to get by the 95 car of Alex Miller. Toyota on the low side, Dodge on the high side as they go through turns number 1 and 2. Cole Baker running right there behind in the 11 car to Dollar General Toyota. He also trying to get by Miller. And look at that move by Alex Miller to the low side of Martinez, and he'll take position or tries to. So now they flip-flop which lane they want to be in, and Miller wanted that low lane. And he had to, I'm sure he caught Martinez by surprise. And now Nikki's going to see if she can try to do the same thing. Well, she didn't that time, but I thought she was gonna. I thought she watched Alex that movie. She thought she tried it herself. So that's going on right now here at Martinsville Speedway. Here, Alex Morris takes the position. That's for 27th, by the way. Martinez is 28th, and battle side by side between Cole Baker in the 11 and the 86 of Daniel Bouchard. That's 29th and 30th on your screen. And there's the rest of the order for you right there. And that's how they run, and that's the way it looks up front right now. Cole Deaver out in front in car number 3, the GM Goodwrench Chevrolet out in front. Wrangler Jeans coming on board, as well as Realtree. A very well-sponsored car for the man from the state of Georgia. Levi McIntyre, as I mentioned, he's already won a race this season in the Marvel Studios 4-day. That win came at Darlington Raceway. Jessica Shelton, though, running in third position. She always does well here. She always runs well here at Martinsville Speedway. She ran well the last race we brought to you on tour at North Wilkesboro. There you see Keith Batson's car, the number 39 Nathan's Ford, as we take a ride on board with Keith Batson in car number 39. You see the RPMs there. I know we always talk about the RPMs here at Martinsville Speedway, though, but they are a big part of the talk here. As you see, RPMs go down about 4,600 RPMs. They're going through 1 and 2. Apparently they're not setting them up to turn high here at Martinsville as they had been. We used to seeing a little over 9,000 RPMs in the turns 1 and turn 3. See the RPMs are getting down to 4,600 for Batson, and he goes into turn number 3 at about 8,750. Like I said, we used to seeing about a little over 9,000 RPMs going into turn number 1. And there's the view from Keith. There's the view from Seth Cole's perspective. Seth running in 18th right now. There you see Seth, just like Keith, about 87.50 going into turn number 3, and down about 47.50 going through 1 and 2, or going through 3 and 4, I should say. Johnny Gardner trying to look inside of Rafael LeDuc for position right now. Now you see what we talk about right there. We have sort of few long straightaways, a couple of long straightaways, and a couple of very tight hairpins there. And you'll see some tight hairpins though when we get to the first road course race of the season. When we go to Sonoma, a couple of races from now, that race will be after Talladega. And as we approach the last few opportunities to get into the Winston All-Star race at Charlotte. So you just got this race, and you got Talladega, then Sonoma, and then the last chance to get into the All-Stars at California Speedway for the running of the Auto Club 400. Get a look at Johnny Gardner's car, the Oreo Ritz Chevrolet. He runs in 17th position right now. Rafael LeDuc in 16th. Zach Rogers still running 15th. So no positions changed for the time being here at Martinsville. Top 3 still remains the same. It's still Deaver, McIntyre, and Jessica Shelton, the top 3 spots. We take a look at the last of the runners right now here. Rob Evans runs in right now in 39th position. He is the last car to running right now. Remember Logan Williams right now. Logan Williams got DQ'd earlier in the race right now because of getting black flagged on the start, and didn't heed the black flag call. And unfortunately, like I said, the ruling is though you have to answer the black flag within 3 laps, and if you do it after 3, then they'll pull out the scorecard and disqualify you, and that's what knocked him out of the race. So right now, Rob Evans is running last on the track, but it's not going to be finishing last in this race. James Sykes in the 55 Texas Pete Sauce's Thunderbird. He runs in 38th position right now. William Brock has slipped to 37th position in the Synovus Bank Chevy. Looks inside of Natan Amadeo in the number 36 Texaco Haviland Ford. Natan stunt car number 36 runs in 36 right now. Zachary Fitzwater running 35th at the time being in car number 59. Jack Mitchell running 34th. 33rd is Colton Schwartz. Vincent Bouchard running 32nd. Hudson's running 31st. Jordan Anderson's rounding out the top 30 right now in 30th. Check to see if we got any battles going on right now. Mason Wood, I see him in 25th. Mike Wayne Robinson, 24th. Trent Dunham, he has our third in-car camera in this race here in a Sega Chevrolet as we get a ride with Trent. See the RPM count right there for Trent Dunham right there, down about 4,600 RPMs in the middle of 3 and 4. And up to about 8,500 in the middle in the turn number 1. As Trent comes off turn number 2. And up to about 8,700 again going through into turn number 3. Zach Winkle up ahead in 22nd position. 21st right now is Cat Matson. 20th at the moment is Jesse Turner. As we watch Trent come off turn number 2 right now in the Sega Chevy Impala. Off turn number 2 they come, or turn number 4, excuse me. There's Cat Batson in the beautiful blue and purple Ford. Part of that 3-car team owned by Keith Batson, KEB Enterprises. As we're about to complete the 35th lap of this race here, we're down to 40 laps remaining here at Martinsville Speedway. There you see Turner in 20th, 19th is Phil Parker, the Raging Cajun. Seth Colding in 18th, 17th again is Gardner. As we take you through the field backwards here, Cole Deaver, as we remind, Cole Deaver still leads the race right now here at Martinsville Speedway. Top 10 right now, Charles Samper is in 9th position. 10th is Mike Becker. Matt McIntyre running in 8th. Kyle Matthews in 7th. Right now, Angel Navarro is in 6th. Nathan Orman had his best run of the year, as we mentioned. He's running in 5th. He started outside Polis, remember. Almost had the pole until Cole Deaver, until Cole Deaver, the next to the last car down the track, took the pole away from him. Here, Orman had it for a long, long time in qualifying, and then, as we mentioned, Deaver just took it away from him. And he was the next to the last car down the track here at Martinsville Speedway on qualifying day. But Orman with a top 5 car now, he hopes to repeat that for as much as he can, though, and try to get himself into contention. Orman in his comeback season this season as well too. Kev Shear running in 4th position, the Waste Management car 69, the man who won at North Wilkesboro. He'll be running the Liberty Mutual car at Talladega, the next race we brought to you on the tour there. He's running the Waste Management car for most of the season, by the way. There. Bashir in one of the 2 Dodge Intrepids in the field here. Zachary Fitzwater being the other Intrepid in the field. Jessica Shelton, there, as we mentioned, she's the other Thunderbird in the field. James Sykes, we said, is one of the Thunderbirds in the field. There's the other one. There's Shelton running right now in 3rd position. Still not letting Cole Deaver and Levi McIntyre get very far ahead, though. We don't have any lap traffic ahead at the time being. Well, scratch that. We do have lap traffic ahead. So now this is where things get really exciting now here at Martinsville, because we are past halfway right now. 42 of 75 in the books. Actually, 43 of 75 in the books, excuse me. As we're down to the final 30, as we're down to the final 32 laps of this race here. The part where the leaders start hitting lap traffic here, and when that happens, almost anything can happen, and pretty much usually does here at Martinsville Speedway. As Cole Deaver, let's remember too, lap traffic on the restart cost him the win at North Wilkesboro, the last race we brought to the tour. And Cole, as I mentioned, did not want to see that caution flag fly with less than 20 to go at that race, because that put the rest of the field up on the back bumper of him. And lap traffic, in the case of Dylan Young, cost Deaver the win that day over to Kev Shearer. And it's the part of the race where you need to keep that car in balance, obviously, too, and not let it slip in the corners here, because if that were to happen, though, their second place car, in that case, it's Levi McIntyre. He'll pull to the low inside, and unfortunately, will pull up alongside and get you. But right now, the margin is closing. It's 29 hundredths of a second right now between the front two cars of Deaver and McIntyre, a pair of black cars. One's a Chevy, the other a Ford. McIntyre to the low side, 6-0 at 2012 Fusion to the inside of Deaver's 99 Monte Carlo. Margin's now down to 2400s, and that time McIntyre's the one who slipped into turn number 1. Shelton looked to the low side. That's just in that light blue and green car. Off turn number 4 they come here. Deaver starts to pull ahead just a little bit now. Through turns 1 and 2 they come again here. Deaver off the second turn here, tries to stay ahead of McIntyre and tries to see if he can find his way inside of the 8 car of Rob Evans. $3,400 that time by. Levi looked to the left side. He drove it in hard that time through 1 and 2. There's Levi in the Marble Studios, Zeb Bellringer, SKF Ford. Down the low side he goes here. Levi looking for his second victory of the season. He won at Darlington. Deaver looking for his first this season. And Shelton likewise looking for her first this season. In the turn number 1 they come here. Deaver pulls ahead again here. 4,100 so that last time by. But he's now pulled to the back of that 8 car of Rob Evans. The Nibco Menards Chevy just up ahead of the Goodwrench car. 53 laps in the books, 22 to go here at Martinsville Speedway. Race is far from over here as long as McIntyre stays back close behind here. Right now, Deaver can get by a lap car. It could be his best friend at this point. But right now, Rob Evans, he's now pulled up alongside Evans. Now he tucks back in behind Evans's car. But that let McIntyre close up a little bit now. 2,700 the last time by. Check the speeds. Check who has the fastest speeds of the race so far. Levi McIntyre is the fastest car so far in this race at 94.233. Shelton not that far behind him at 94.2. She's the second fastest. And oh, Deaver pulled up Deaver got up to the high side here. Here comes McIntyre to the low side. Levi McIntyre for the lead on Cole Deaver through 3 and 4, and he's got it. Deaver slipped big time the last time I go into turn number 1 here. And now Levi McIntyre will take the lead here at Martinsville Speedway, looking for a second victory of the season. And now Jessica Shelton looks to the low side, trying to get by Deaver herself. Can Deaver come back? That's gonna be the question. He's actually pulled up behind McIntyre that time by. And he got up the track a little bit here. Through turns 3 and 4 they come here. Levi McIntyre, the number 99 Marvel Studios Ford, out in front now. As he's now completed 59 laps, we now have 16. We have now 17 to go. Actually, we completed 58 laps, not 59. And Shelton got up to the high side now. Kev Shear looks to the low side through 3 and 4 now. As for third position, now it's McIntyre to do about the 8 car of Rob Evans now. As Evans goes to the low side of James Sykes in the 55. That is for position. That's 38th and 39th. $15 to go now. Deaver's still fighting that car just a little bit right now. He's dropping back just a little bit on Levi McIntyre's car as they go through turns number 3 and 4 now. And now Shelton's pulled up to the back bumper of Deaver's car now. That's for second. Ooh, and Jess got loose that time into turn number 1. Here comes Kev Shear to the low side. And Jess floors the throttle on her number 9 Thunderbird, and she keeps ahead of Kev for the time being, but Kev is there. And that's what we was talking about right there, keeping that car, keeping the bounce in the car, not let it slip in the turns. Because if you do, as we saw what happened to Deaver, let it slip into turn number 1, and then McIntyre got up alongside and by him. Now Cole's hoping for the same thing to happen to Levi. Not wishing anybody any bad luck, obviously, but margin is 0.4 of a second that time by. Last time by, let's see what it is this time by. Levi's pulled ahead just a little bit, but Deaver appears to have closed up just a slight. That Deaver still has, but nope, Deaver actually lost a little bit, 4,400 for the last time by. Now McIntyre pulls inside of Rob Evans' car into turn number 3, but nothing doing. McIntyre goes up the track a little bit. Deaver sticks it low. Less than 10 to go now. Be 9 laps remaining this time by here as they go through turns 3 and 4 here. Deaver again up the high side, Shelton to the low side. That again is for second place. Through turns number 3 and 4, off turn number 2. Levi McIntyre, the number 99 car out in front still. Checking for races for position right now here. Matt McIntyre has taken 7th position away from Kyle Matthews. All the while, Angel Navarro took 6th away took 5th, I should say, away from Nathan Ormond. Matthews is in 8th. 9th is Charles Samper, and Keith Batson's taking 10th. Up here comes Mike Becker back to the low side of Batson for position. That's for 10th. And give it to the Cheerios STP Dodge for the time being as they go into turn number 1. Side by side, Quentin Moore looking low and trying to take 11th position away from Batson. Moore's in 12th. 13th is Young. 14th is Osborne. And he's now fighting with Rafael LeDuc for that 14th position. In the turn number 3 they come here. McIntyre leads them down. That completes that number 70. 5 laps remaining for Levi McIntyre. Margin is 0.3 of a second between he and Deaver. Deaver's closing up a little bit. Off into turn number 3. Car number 99. Trying to hold them all up for a second victory of the season. Deaver looking for his first this season. Still 0.3 of a second of that time by here. McIntyre still closing up to the back of that 8 car of Rob Evans here. Evans tried to look inside of James Sykes once again for position. 3 laps to go. Deaver's closed up a little bit still. Actually, he did not. Oh, McIntyre slipped a little bit in the turn number 1. Here comes Deaver to the low side. In the turn number 3, they come here. Deaver's pulled up to the back here, trying to make one more charge. 2 laps to go. But Deaver slipped that time by. That could have sealed the deal right there for Levi McIntyre. In the turn number 3, he has 1 lap remaining now here at Martinsville Speedway. The Marble Studios Ford out in front. The white flag waves. 1 lap remaining here at Martinsville Speedway. 0.526 miles away from win number 2 in season 29. Deaver trying to make one last charge at a good wrench Chevy, but it's not going to happen. In the third turn he comes. And he is going to do it here today. Levi McIntyre wins the STP 500 at Martinsville. McIntyre's second victory of the season, and poor Cole Deaver looked like he had that race won too, because he had led the most laps. Lap traffic nailed him, and he got up to the high side with McIntyre up on his back bumper. And McIntyre tricked him into a mistake, which he did, and Levi capitalized on it and held him off the rest of the way as he takes the second victory of the season, averaging 92.740 miles per hour. Cole Deaver comes home second. Jessica Shelton third. Fourth will go to Keb Shearer. Fifth to Angel Navarro. Nathan Orman, a great day for him, finishes in sixth. Seventh will go to Kyle Matthews. Eighth to Matt McIntyre. Charles Stanford ninth, and 10th will go to Mike Becker. And we have a what in the... Well, Joshua Osborne has just crashed his car into the end of the pit wall. And apparently there was a log jam on the cooldown lap here. I see right there. There's Dylan Young. He crashed in. He's the one that crashed into the pit wall. Dylan Young did. There's Jesse Turner going by. There's Phil Parker in the 5. There's Osborne coming into your picture in a 60 car. And up behind him, and up behind Osborne is Trent Dunham and Rafael LeDuc. Joshua goes on ahead, not knowing where he's going, and then he crashes into the inside wall. And unlike Dylan Young, now poor little Osborne cannot get back, can't get his car backed up. And he gets teleported to the pit road. So, yeah. There you have it with that. So that being said, Levi McIntyre is your winner here today at Martinsville Speedway. We give you the rest of the finishing order for you here. 11th will go to Keith Batson and Quentin Moore. Dylan Young, Osborne. LeDuc was 15th. Then Rogers, Gardner, Seth Cole, Jesse Turner, and Kat Batson, the top 20. Then it's Phil Parker, Trent Dunham, Zach Winkle, Mike Wayne Robinson, 24th. Then 25th will go to Mason Wood, Dylan Potey, Alex Miller, Nicky Martinez, Cole Baker, and Jordan Anderson, the top 30. Then it's Hudson, Bouchard, Schwartz, Mitchell, Brock, Amadeo, Fitzwater, Sykes, and Rob Evans was the last car to finish. He was the only car to finish not on the lead lap, a lap down in this race. And Logan Williams, unfortunately, DQ'd out of the race in 40th position. So that will do it here today at Martinsville Speedway. As congratulations again to Levi McIntyre, who gets his second victory of the season. He won earlier at Darlington, and now he takes the win at Martinsville this season, averaging, as we mentioned, 92.74 miles per hour around this racetrack, as we'll head to Talladega next on the tour for the always exciting Winston 500. As we go from the shortest and the slowest at Martinsville to the longest and the fastest of the racetracks on the tour. So if you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on the channel. We got inner races, we got gaming videos, we got in our online videos, we got whatever the president of the NNSCRA, Seth Cole desires for his channel. Be sure to check out Seth's Duracell Cup Series also on his channel, and give our channel, as we mentioned, a subscribe, as well as subscribe to our other 2 channels who does the NNSCRA series. X8675309858X's channel, which is Dylan Young. He does the NNSCRA Spectrum Mobile Cup Series, and also from the NNSCRA from Thrashman899, aka Levi McIntyre. He does the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. Be sure to give those two channels a sub. And and they'll get you going on their respective series as well too. So that will do it here today at Martinsville. For now, this is James Qualls. This has been a production of the NNSCRA. Offline Racing at its best. We will see you at Talladega for the Winston 500.